Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. Quick update on the severe weather risk for Monday. It's going to be really kind of one of those days where it's going to be all or nothing kind of severe weather outbreak, but the potential is there that we could see some significant severe weather, especially considering that it is June. You can see all the severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches to our north and west. There's definitely a strong front for this time of year. We've actually noticed a couple clusters of showers and thunderstorms tonight. The main batch is up here near Louisville. Then we've got another one south of Memphis and then another one south of Atlanta. So far, the Carolinas have escaped most of the carnage from these severe thunderstorms. Now, the risk for severe thunderstorms tonight, you can see it off to our west. That's pretty easy. The low end risk comes all the way into the mountains tonight. I'm going to turn off all the warnings just to make it a little clearer. But you can see the clusters we're watching off to the west. That's pretty easy to see right now. But as we go into tomorrow, that risk changes quite a bit. You can see it starts to shift into the Carolinas with that medium risk. And again, that higher risk from about Raleigh, Fayetteville, up to Greensboro, and then up towards the DC metro and all the way up to Philadelphia. But that's the risk for severe storms tomorrow. Now, let me show you the timing of this because it's really going to be key. If this front arrives max heating of the day, there's enough energy, especially hot, humid air at the surface, and then you combine it with some cool air in the mid-levels, could see large hail and damaging winds our primary concern. But what could really throw this all for a loop is that these storms back in Louisville, you see them up there, they don't look like much tonight. These might hold together and then move into the Carolinas late tonight and early tomorrow morning, like right around sunrise or after. They'll be falling apart, but they could stabilize the atmosphere and completely squash further development. And I'll show you what I mean by this when we look at our future cast. So first things first, we're going to look at the short range rapid refresh, just the next 18 hours to kind of give you an idea. So this is 10 o'clock. You can see the forecast here. We'll go into the overnight hours. I'm going to stop this around 4 in the morning. Look at that complex. We call these MCSs. That's short for mesoscale convective system. That's just a fancy weather term for a complex of thunderstorms, a large cluster of storms. But they can organize and stay going well into the overnight hours. So damaging straight line winds would be a concern with that system. You can see it moving into the mountains and then make it into the Piedmont. This is 6 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. Now, it'll likely be weakening, as you see right there. It really weakens quite a bit. But what it's doing is eating up all of the fuel for thunderstorms as it moves through the area. It falls apart by 9 o'clock. We go into the middle of the day tomorrow. I'm going to stop this around, the last frame here is 1 p.m. So this is 1 p.m. Monday. Notice nothing developing here. That's because those morning storms have likely stabilized the atmosphere. The question is, does that hold true? Because remember, the sun's going to be back out and things could really get cooking here before the next piece of energy, which is going to be up in here, moves through. So let's take a look at that potential. So we pick things back up 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. So after the morning storms, kind of like, hey, nothing's going to happen, Brad. What is the big deal? Let's go to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Let's go to 5 o'clock. Uh-oh. Around 5 o'clock, this means we had time for the atmosphere to destabilize. It got hot, humid, low 90s. We've got some isolated cells developing. Now, these cells, while they're not huge, they could be what we call supercells, which means they're likely going to have some rotation in the mid-levels. That does two things. One, you worry about tornadoes, but probably the lower threat. It's going to drive hot, humid air high into the sky where it's cold and dry, and these are going to be huge hailers. So if you have a garage or carport, hail is going to be a big issue tomorrow. 6 o'clock, you can see the scattered storms moving through the area. Let's go to 7 o'clock. Big cluster moves right across the Charlotte metro area. And again, look at those cores. See those brighter returns? That's not heavy rain. That's likely hail. So again, not widespread severe weather, but the risk for hail could be pretty significant. And then we get towards 8, 9, 10 o'clock, the threat actually expands. So this could be a late arriving severe weather outbreak on your Monday. Again, pushing through the area. We'll wait for subsequent runs of the guidance, but I really think this is going to be kind of more isolated, but the storms that can get going, and this is the key part, late Monday, potentially could have some large hail and damaging winds as we go into the overnight hours. So we'll keep an eye on this. Again, just a quick update. That's the risk right there. You can see the medium to high risk. Depending on how things unfold, we should see things kind of start cranking up after 5 or 6 o'clock. So probably during the day tomorrow, probably going to be like, what's the big deal? But it'll be the evening hours into the sunset, post-sunset time frame that we watch for scattered storms.